Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So we've been decoding the Star Wars changes that we could, and I was feeling a little overwhelmed with this one, guys, because we went ahead and took Luke and No because Luke changed to No, and if anyone's been following along, you know that I took the gold and silver leg of C3PO and broke those down to elements and broke those down to their element numbers and took the numerological numbers for the element numbers after crossing off the sevens. Um, uh, Gold leg, the gold, the element gold is 70 or 9. What is that? 79 on the periodic table, and silver is 47. So I crossed off these sevens and it left me with 94. 9 is IR in numerology, I and R both. And 4 is D and M and V, so I just brought those down. And so far it's gone forwards and backwards in the stock market, in genetics, and in chemicals. And we have hit a couple of potential quantum computer users in this. And those were Alon Key of the Department of Molecular Biology and Genetics at Cornell University, Diamond V Genetics Show Pigs. All right. And the one I'm leaning towards, and even more now, and I'll explain why in a minute, you had DRI Desert Research Institute. That's a research institute. All right. There's a couple reasons I'm leaning towards that. They're, I think, based in Nevada, and they research all sorts of stuff. I looked into them a little bit, and I provided a link on the chemical decode, so it would have been part 3 of this. And I'm leaning towards the Desert Research Institute. Now, we went through in random hits, just typing these things in randomly to see what came up, all right? And something interesting happened to me. LUK ended up being Lucinda National on the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, another stock exchange, right? But we weren't doing stock exchange, and I didn't find this on my stock search. This came up random. All right. So you got a company on the stock market. The next KE ends up being KE Trade, and that is a stock market. All right. NOI, we've had before, net operating income. It deals with your it deals with investments and stuff. RDM ends up being RDM Financial Group. All right, so this stuff's coming up finance, right? I think once it does not. But MV ends up being MV Financial, and they're a financial company, and that gets you through going forwards in random hits. All right, coming backwards, just random. VMDR ends up being Cells Advances in Research and Application. Not stock market, but I'm leaning towards the Desert Research Institute, right, for our quantum computer user. And here, Cells Advances in Research and Application is in here. So very interesting they could do that. IONE ends up being IONE Bank. It's based in Oregon, but it's a bank, another financial institution, right? The next one's really interesting because some time ago, one of our viewers told us to keep an eye out for Bitcoin, and at that time we hadn't hit Bitcoin yet, but like I had said, we barely scratched the surface. And now we've hit Bitcoin. KU ends up coming back, ends up being Bitcoin, KU coin. So there's a Bitcoin hit. There's your Bitcoin hit. All right. I've been looking for it. I haven't seen it. We haven't seen it ever since it got suggested. And again, we just go where the evidence goes. So if it wasn't there, it wasn't there, right? Well, it is now. So I forget who suggested that some time back. But if you're still with us, there's Bitcoin for you. It just came up randomly. UL ends up being Underwriters Laboratory, and I'll provide a link and let you read all about them. Now, I started to do some translations while I was trying to tie some of this stuff together before I did the video, or this video, and I got a list of translations far longer than any of the decodes. Starting at this line, you got translations all the way to here. And here we got translations all the way to here. And I haven't even gone through and taken like one ONE that's there. RIM is there, RIM. DIM is there, DIM. So there's stuff that yeah. Anyway, there's stuff there that I haven't got yet, but just an interesting thing. I ended up having RION being laboratory and finish. I had INOM end up being drinking, and I didn't record the language there. NERIO is water in Greek. You literally have drinking water laboratory. And I Googled drinking water laboratory and got drinking water laboratories. And I thought for a second that maybe we were dealing with that being your quantum computer user, but then it dawned on me, Desert Research Institute. Desert. They're in Nevada, if I'm not mistaken. Desert. Of course they'd hit a drinking water laboratories. You know, they're in the desert. You know, they're water's a problem there. Of course they'd hit that. And being that the random hits all seem to come back money, who always needs more money? Research places, right? They're the ones always getting donations and stuff. Cancer research, that's the one that comes to mind. But there's all sorts of research institutions that need money all the time. So, yeah, there went your random translations, and again, we're still working, or random hits, and again, I'm working on translations, and my fiance isn't here at the moment to even try to help put these together. We have a whole other page of these we haven't put together too. But yeah, that pretty much gets you through everything but the numbers, guys. And well, the translations, but drinking water laboratories, and there's all sorts of stuff in here, guys. Born in, not born in, into, yeah, not born in, down, water drinking water laboratory, drinking water laboratories. Yeah, there's stuff in here, and I don't know that we'll be able to make heads or tails of it, but I'm going to let this video go at that, guys. Numbers still to come, and yeah, I might try latitude and longitude. There'd be so many possibilities by the time you put these numbers in here, but we'll just try them in order and see what happens. See if maybe it'll land you right in Nevada. Maybe one of them will land you in Nevada. Maybe, boom, Desert Research Institute. Oh, we haven't tried latitude and longitude. The numbers themselves haven't been coming back to these places that we think are using the quantum computers, but maybe the latitude and longitude would. It's a good question, and we'll look into it. Um, but that's going to be it for now, guys. Random hits came back pretty much finance and one research thing, which is drawing me to think that maybe this Desert Research Institute that we hit in these letters may be your quantum computer user that changed this movie, at least this section of it. I don't know. Leaning heavily towards that, actually, guys, because that's just where the evidence looks like it is. So, and I could be wrong. I seem to be wrong all the time when it comes to this stuff, but I let the evidence lead, and wherever that evidence goes, and I sometimes I predict wrong. But this isn't a prediction. This is more the evidence is wrapping around this place. So, um, one more decode to come, possibly two if we make heads or tails of these translations, but the numbers for sure. And that'll be coming in the next day or two. So that's going to be it for now. Thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down. Thanks for all your comments, leads, feedback, subscriptions. Uh, and thanks a lot for watching, guys. And for now, you guys have a great rest of your day.